Coming up on this edition of Chris 6 Sunrise, a brand new $3.5 million street project could be coming to Corpus Christi. We're going to have a look at what's on today's council agenda.
And here's a look at what other stories we're covering in your neighborhood.
Keeping prescriptions out of the wrong hands. I'm Michaela Chavez, and I'll tell you how you can help this weekend.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. Thank you so much for waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Michelle Hoffman.
And I'm Brian Hoffman. Happy Taco Tuesday, Michelle. Happy Taco Tuesday, everyone. And a happy Taco Tuesday to meteorologist Stephen Jones. How you doing today, brother?
Hey, good morning.
Well, good morning and happy Taco Tuesday to you guys as well. A little bit humid for my taste, this morning. What about you guys,
It's like a warm hug, as Michelle likes to put it. It is.
I don't mind it.
It's thick. It's air that you could eat.
Yes, we love to say the air that you can wear out there as you step outside. Just, pretty thick as you're stepping out in the morning. A little bit of dew on the cars out there as well. So something that you could expect if you're about to hit the roadways. Other than that, traffic-wise, not looking too bad as of this moment. Closer look at the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland this morning. Nice and green if you're getting ready to head out the door at the 6 a.m. hour. Closer into Corpus Christi, Ocean Drive, no major slowdowns as of this hour. Ennis Jocelyn, SPID, Saratoga, Crosstown Expressway, all of the above coming in good and green this morning if you're heading out the door. A little bit closer to the island, heading over towards the Flower Bluff area. Flower Bluff Drive, good and green, as well as Waldron Road right now. Just a minor slowdown there, Waldron Road near SPID, as well as the normal slowdown you get as you're heading towards the gates near the Naval Air Station there, and looking at the bridge, SPID, not too bad either there. Some of those drive times for you this morning heading out the door: 22 minutes from downtown to the island, 8 minutes from Portland to downtown, and if you're heading from Cal Island to downtown, should take you about 15 minutes or so. So wherever you're coming from and wherever you're going to, looking good and green this morning, but don't go anywhere. More news and weather heading your way.
Yep, Stephen, thank you so much. So happening today, the city of Corpus Christi is looking to expand the Civitan Service Center. The city wants to take about 1.5 acres of Saki Park for the expansion, and the proposed work would include building a fence around the area to secure valuable city assets and equipment stored near Saki Drive. City officials say thieves have been breaking into the Civitan Service Center and stealing catalytic converters from city vehicles. If approved, the $1.3 million project could move forward in September of next year.
Well, City Council is set to vote today on a $3.5 million project that would revitalize Castanon Street near Moody High School. So if approved, the construction would provide new street and sidewalk pavements, curbs, gutters, driveways, and signs from Trojan Drive to Delgado Street. Max Underground Construction would be responsible for the project. Funding for the $3.5 million project would come from the Street Bonds 2018 Stormwater, Water, Wastewater, and Gas Funds. Well, the Corpus Christi City Council will be looking at a resolution for improvements to Commodore Park. They're looking into awarding a construction contract to a company out of Cuero, Texas. They will be overseeing phase 1 of this project. It includes improvements to covered basketball court pavilion, tennis courts, pickleball courts, a fenced playground area, and new lighting. Total cost, well, that's more than $3.4 million.
Usually these leftover prescriptions are out of sight, out of mind, until they end up in the wrong hands. I'm Michaela Chavez, your neighborhood news reporter on the West Side, explaining why local health experts are encouraging you to take 10 minutes this weekend to clean them out. According to the National Center for Drug Abuse Statistics, nearly 14 million people misused prescription drugs last year. Many of those pills, the agency says, came from home medicine cabinets.
It is extremely alarming at the rate at which fentanyl has become such a huge issue for our community.
De Leon works with Project Hope, a program with the Coastal Bend Wellness Foundation designed to help prevent substance abuse. He coordinates Clayburgh County's Take Back Day and says that event, along with the one in Corpus Christi, helps. The National Center for Drug Abuse Statistics estimates 86% of pill abusers say they get their pills from friends, family, or a healthcare provider.
They are prescribed for you and only for you. keep in mind your doctor takes into account your height, your weight, when they do prescribe these medications to use.
De Leon tells me just one drop-off event can cut off some access to pill abusers.
This event was created to address the opioid epidemic and hopefully create a proper way for people to dispose of them.
The Corpus Christi Nueces County Pill Take Back Day is scheduled Saturday, October 25th at the Health Department on Horn Road. The event starts at 10 in the morning and ends at 2 in the afternoon. Organizers will collect unused or expired pills, but will not accept needles or liquids. So, something as small as dropping off a bottle of pills can help protect kids, prevent addiction, and keep our community safe. On the West Side, I'm your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter, Michaela Chavez, Chris 6 News.
Well, good Tuesday morning to you, Coastal Bend. Taking a look at our USS Lexington cam, brought to us by First Community Bank. 75 degrees, winds out of the south 6 miles an hour. Traffic flowing nice and smooth there along the New Harbor Bridge. And looking at how our Monday stacked up, 96 degrees, about 12 degrees above our average. Supposed to be 84 right now. Morning lows also above average, coming in at 73 and well above that record 39 we set back in 1989. And of course, we know plenty of rain needed to make up for this deficit so far in 2025. Temperatures currently outside 75 degrees here in town, 81 there in Port Aransas going to be the warm spot, 72 over there in Alice, as well as Freer are going to be tied for the cool spot this morning as we're going in through the 6 a.m. hour. And then we're going to start to see all of these temperatures coming up into the 90s for daytime highs today. And dew points out there definitely have been on the rise as well. Yesterday, Beeville still sitting in the 60s. Today, up to that 71 degree mark for the dew point, 72 here in town, 75 for Ingleside, Port Aransas, and over there at the Naval Air Station. And going to hold this moisture in place with all that southeasterly flow coming from the Gulf as we go through our Tuesday. So plenty of it out there. The morning not looking too bad, but the afternoon going to be pretty warm out and about 98 degrees, feeling like it by noon, 99 by 2 p.m. and feeling like the triple digits there by 3 to 4 p.m. So something to keep in mind. Hopefully enjoy the AC, maybe some water as well today. Try not to be outside for too long at least. And as we go through the next few days, going to be pretty well above average into the upper 80s, potentially the 90s. But then close to Halloween, some hope on the horizon, a good decline in those temperatures by the day before Halloween. Looks like we could be below average in those lower 80s, hopefully, and at least around average as we're going into Halloween and kicking off November. So hopefully feeling just a little bit more fall-like as we're stepping out and about by November. The current Doppler radar, nothing on the board right now. And as we go into the future tracker, our Tuesday looking pretty dry out here, but maybe a little bit of isolated activity off to the north, maybe Three Rivers and Beeville. Could see just a little bit of isolated activity trying to push in, but overall, most of us probably going to be staying dry through our Tuesday as well as into our Wednesday. Looking at the future tracker, plenty of sunshine out and about, so want to keep that heat risk in mind as well. Going to be minor to moderate, and like we said, just to enjoy the AC potentially and drink plenty of water. Try not to be outside for extended periods. The 7-day forecast is going to show you, though, going to be above average, but the rain chances return by Friday into Saturday, hopefully putting a dent in the rain deficit, with overnight lows holding their own in the 70s pretty much all week.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Appreciate it, sir. Well, 3 weeks ago, the Trump administration made an offer to 9 universities, priority in federal funding, for adopting some policy changes. Coming up on Sunrise Scripps News Group's Joe St. George will have more on President Trump's higher education pact and how the University of Texas responded. Welcome back, folks. 6:11 is your time. Taking a live look from our SPID Skycam. Traffic flowing pretty nicely, but you see those streaks from the lights? Oh, it is a bit humid out there, we should say. Meteorologist Stephen Jones, he's going to be talking more on that and taking a look at the rest of the roadways. But first, we've got some national headlines to get to.
Yeah, hundreds of online services and platforms are getting back up and running after a widespread outage early Monday. Services affected include Venmo, Snapchat, Facebook, Prime Video, and Amazon's cloud computing. That's according to downdetector.com. Some airlines, including Delta and United, reported disruptions for some of their systems. Amazon Web Services said Monday that it had issues with its cloud service operations, and it said the outage lasted 3 hours and included entertainment and gaming websites.
So 3 weeks ago, the Trump administration contacted the University of Texas at Austin, along with 8 other universities, about joining a pact that would give priority in federal funding. To get the funding, the universities would have to agree to certain conditions. some of them beneficial, including capping tuition and some limits on international enrollment, although there are a bunch of other caveats to it.
Now, as of last night, the University of Texas was the only one that showed interest as students took to the campus to protest against the pact. To talk more about this, we bring in Scripps News Group Deputy Political Director Joe St. George. Good morning, Joe. So can you tell us how this kind of pact could help or even negatively impact the universities that agree to it?
Well, good morning. It is a hot topic in Austin at the University of Texas. It's a hot topic in colleges and among colleges and universities across the country. What are we talking about here? It's known, the formal title, as the Compact for Academic Excellence in Higher Education. It's essentially an effort by the Trump administration, the Department of Education, to provide preferential funding for universities, but it comes with some conditions like capping international enrollment, restrictions on tuition increases, a commitment to what's known as, quote, institutional neutrality, making sure that conservative values are promoted. All part of this belief in Washington by conservatives that essentially universities have gone way too far to the left. President Trump has spoken about this on social media. He wrote earlier this month, quote, "Throughout most of our history, America's colleges and universities have been a great strategic asset of the United States. Tragically, however, much of higher education has lost its way." Now in Texas, University of Texas at Austin, the only institution initially invited to join this compact. The others being Vanderbilt University, University of Arizona, University of Virginia, among others. There's a big problem the Trump administration has, though, thus far. They're having trouble getting universities to agree to this. There's a real concern about this pact and how it may impact institutions of higher learning, how it may provide preferential treatment to some universities that aren't based on merit. Now, the University of Texas, per Politico and the New York Times, initially has expressed some enthusiasm, at least some parts, potentially to signing on to this. But we should be very clear here. Texas has not given its formal response. They haven't blasted a press release out yet. So that suggests there's clearly some consternation going on behind the scenes. The Trump administration said last night on Fox they're viewing this period. Remember, there was a deadline with this yesterday for universities to submit their responses. They're really viewing this period as a feedback period. I think there's a chance that this compact gets reformed a bit down the line. It's clearly something the Trump administration wants to do, but again, their problem is so far they're not having a lot of universities, institutions eager to sign up.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for the information today.
Yeah, thank you so much for keeping up to date on this, too. Looking forward to talking again soon.
Well, good Tuesday morning. Looking out there, 6:16 a.m., 75 degrees. Winds out of the south, 6 miles an hour here on our USS Lexington camp, thanks to First Community Bank. And around much of the coastal bend, plenty of temperatures in the 70s and 80s this morning. 81 degrees there. Over at Port Aransas, 80 at Rockport, 73 in Beeville. Going to be that cool spot on the board here. And visibility's 3.8 miles there in Alice, 3 miles in Beeville. Something to keep in mind. Not terribly horrible, but still something, a little bit of reduced visibility. Want to keep those lights on for sure as you're heading out the door, of course. Looking at those temperatures, 96 degrees in parts of the coastal bend for that daytime high. Alice over there and Kingsville, as well as down towards the southern areas. 95 here in town along the coast. Expect those mid to upper 80s. 89 at the Naval Air Station, 87 for Rockport, 86 over there near Aransas Pass is what we're expecting for daytime highs. But feels like temperatures going to be in those upper 80s, if not the triple digits potentially, the upper 90s and those triple digits. So the heat risk going to be minor to moderate around Corpus Christi, as well as portions of the coastal bend today. Tomorrow, more of the minor conditions around the coastal bend, still some moderate around here in Corpus Christi. And then as we go into Thursday, still more of the same, but a little bit of an expansion of some of that moderate heat risk as well. So want to try not to be outside for extended periods of time throughout today and the next couple of days, because we're going to be pretty well above average in terms of those temperatures, and not a ton of rain in the forecast, at least today, especially only looking at very stray activity as we go into tomorrow. Potentially a little bit more of that isolated activity trying to work its way into the coastal bend, but overall the rain chances for now just looking very minimal at best and really not going to put a dent in the deficit that we have for 2025. But in terms of the tropics, I do want to have your attention to the National Hurricane Center has issued this, we're watching this area for a 90% chance of development through about the next 48 hours now is what they're issuing for this one. This would become Tropical Storm Melissa would be our next named storm, and current models do have it pulling just a little bit more out towards the Atlantics, but still something that we're watching for now, exactly see how it forms, how strong, how quickly it forms, and exactly where it's going to go with the high pressure systems. But in terms of those rain chances over the next 7 days, you could see how they really start to peak here in Corpus Christi by Friday into Saturday, with some of those chances getting more scattered activity into the coastal bend, and that's what I've got my eyes more on for. Maybe some better rainfall trying to work in, some better rain totals truly working into the coastal bend, trying to get us back below that 10-inch deficit mark. That would be nice in my opinion, of course, and that's what we're seeing on the 7-day forecast, those above average temperatures for daytime highs, so be prepared for that as well throughout the next 7 days. Those rain chances coming back by Friday into Saturday. Overnight lows really staying in those 70s, so going to be a few humid nights on the way, but looking forward to that rain by the weekend.
Searching for solutions. I'm Melissa Trevino, and I'll show you how leaders from across the coastal bend are working together to navigate our severe drought.
This is Veterans in Focus, sponsored by the Heil Law Firm, battling for justice, winning for the community.
After 84 years, a World War II hero's remains will finally be buried in the coastal bend, a place he once called home. Roberto Stillman Garcia, a brave sailor from Concepcion, Texas, will be laid to rest today with full military honors at the Coastal Bend State Veterans Cemetery, and that starts at 1 p.m. Now, folks, as I've told you before, he was serving aboard the USS California when Japanese forces launched their devastating surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941. He was among the 2,403 Americans who lost their lives. But his remains went unidentified for decades until this year. And you know what? Just last week, I was there for Garcia's homecoming. His remains were escorted from Hawaii to Texas by his great-great-niece, who's currently in the Navy stationed in Pearl Harbor.
It was my official duty to be his escort home. And so I was there when he was, transferred to the funeral home, from there to the airplane, and then each layover we had, I ensured that he was treated with dignity and respect.
And folks, tonight in this week's Veterans in Focus, we'll take you along that emotional journey all the way home, and we'll have full coverage of Garcia's burial during our 6 p.m. newscast.
Well, 6:23 a.m. Taking a look out there at our USS Lexington cam, brought to us by First Community Bank, 75 degrees. Looking at the new Harbor Bridge, you can see a little bit of traffic, but it's moving nice and freely across it right now. A little bit of low cloud cover, but no rain to slow you down either, and most of the roadways looking mostly good this morning as we're looking out there. Let's take a more in-depth look here at the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland, looking good and green this morning as we're heading through closer to the 6:30 a.m. hour. Ocean Drive, just a minor slowdown there to keep in mind. SPID, Saratoga, and Crosstown Expressway, though, all three coming in good and green as we're heading closer to 6:30 as well. Over towards Flower Bluff, a minor slowdown there on Waldron Road. Flower Bluff Drive not looking too bad, and a very minor slowdown closer to the gate there at the Naval Air Station. Some of those drive times sitting at 22 minutes from downtown to the island, 8 minutes Portland to downtown, and then about 15 minutes if you're coming from Cal Island to downtown. So wherever you're coming from, wherever you're going to, looking good and green as you're heading out the door this morning.
I'm Stephanie Molina in Robstown, explaining what's on the ballot and what voters want the next election to bring.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Well, 6:26 a.m. taking a look out here at Snoopy's Skycam. Thanks to Matthew CCAC, sitting around those 80-degree marks, 75 degrees here in downtown Corpus Christi. Traffic flowing nice and smooth there along the bridge, and a little bit of low cloud cover to look out for there as you're heading out the door this morning, and plenty of humidity also as you're stepping out the door. Maybe a little bit of dew on the car, and those temperatures in the 70s pretty much for all of us, unless you're along the coast. A couple of 80s, 80 there in Rockport, 82 over in Port Aransas this morning, 75 here here in town. The cool spot's going to be off towards the west. Cotulla and Freer both coming in about 72 degrees, as well as Alice there sneaking in at that 72-degree mark. Dew points, though, pretty close to that as well in the 70s for all of us. The mid-70s along the coast from Rockport to the Naval Air Station and Ingleside. 72 for Portland, Robstown, as well as Corpus Christi. Those lower 70s for all of us, those mid-70s for others. Plenty of moisture, and it's feeling pretty thick if you're stepping out the door this morning. Going to be not too bad to take the pup for a walk, just a little humid at that. Bobo's got the right idea. Enjoy some water and cool yourself down because it's going to be a pretty toasty day, but this morning it's going to slowly warm up. 84 degrees there by 10 a.m., 87 by 11, 90 by the time we're hitting that lunchtime hour. Winds out of the south about 10 miles an hour or so as we're heading towards that lunchtime hour. And Bobo, yes, by the time we're heading into the afternoon, you're going to want to get into the water. 99 degrees, feeling like it outside by 2 p.m., even the century mark as we're heading into the 3 and 4 p.m. hours. So going to be pretty warm out there. Want to drink the water, take those extra heat precautions. Try not to be outside for extended periods of time, of course. And in terms of rain, not too much on the board. Definitely not right now on our current look at the Doppler radar. In the future tracker, not too confident either that there's going to be a lot of activity on the way. You could see a cold front that's going to be knocking on our doorstep is going to be the disturbance that we need to lift up just a little bit of the shower activity, mainly up from about Seadrift through Beeville and then off towards Three Rivers as well, but all of it very isolated and stray in nature. Going to be also very quick-lived. As we go into tomorrow, that front slowly kind of stalls out over the coastal bend, so not going to have a major impact on our weather other than just giving a few isolated showers around the region. Other than that, I really think you're mainly going to be staying dry. You're not going to really need the umbrella, but if you want to be on the safe side, you could bring it just with you to be safe. In terms of the muggy meter, though, air you can wear is what we're going to be having around the area. Dew points in the 70s through about the next 7 days. By the time we're heading into the weekend, though, maybe a decent drop there back in towards that 60-degree mark for the dew point. So hopefully we can get back into the muggy and then hopefully back into the dry category, feeling more comfortable as we're stepping out the door. In terms of those rain chances, going to be isolated at best the next couple of days, but by Friday into Saturday becomes more scattered in nature with a better disturbance that works in with that moisture still in place, of course. So hopefully this is what can work into the area, then put a good dent in the 10-inch deficit. We're actually past 10.5 inches of rain needed to make up for what we've lost so far here in 2025, or what we haven't seen, I should say. So hopefully we could start to see that trend as we go through about the next week or two, and into November, hopefully we see wetter than average conditions, I should say. Throughout that 7-day forecast, expect above average temperatures. That rain chance return by Friday into Saturday is what I'm really watching out for, with slightly closer temperatures to that seasonable into the upper 80s, and overnight lows hold their own in the 70s.
Beef prices are at record highs as we come into the holiday season, and it's not just because of tariffs. I'm Holly Furfer, looking into the perfect storm of factors behind higher prices.
Hey everyone, I'm Larissa Liska at Cal Allen. Imagine kicking the game-winning field goal and drilling it. That's exactly what one senior, our game changer of the week, did in a district rivalry. His story in sports. Everyone, I'm Larissa Liska. If there's one kicker teams should trust on Friday nights in South Texas, it's Cal Allen's Ian Pettis. And it's good. The senior kicker did just that on Friday against district rival Tolosa Midway to win 30-27. That's why Pettis is our game changer of the week.
It's a lot of mental stuff too. Kicking is, 80% mental, 20% physical. I know the coaches had all the trust in me. If not, they wouldn't have put me in this situation in the first place. And I just told myself it was, another ordinary kick, same old thing, and just do what I've been trained to do.
Pettis drilled the 22-yard game-winning field goal in the final seconds, giving Cal Allen the UIL 4A Division I District 16 lead. He made 2 other field goals from 29 yards out, plus 3 extra points.
My offense put me in that situation in the first place. My snapper had a great snap, holder a great hold, and I just had to finish off the job.
The 4-star kicker rated by Cole Showcase Camp has made 8 field goals. That's the second most in a single season in Cal Allen history. Plus, the 5'7" senior has broken all of the school's game records and 4 of 5 career records.
what he does as a punter, what he does as our kickoff guy, and can be able to spray the ball around the field and put it different places. You know, some of that stuff doesn't always show up on the stat book, but it really is critical to what we do, special teams.
This year, Pettis is going the distance by raising money to kick away childhood cancer. So far, he's raised over $1,500 and has scored 60 points through 8 games.
Someone in my family, and I wasn't born yet, but I found out that they battled leukemia when they were 8, beat it, and then got it back when they were 10, ended up passing away. And I know that really hurt my family, so I just wanted to do something to give back.
Pettis' first passion was soccer. He began playing at 4 years old.
I had never played football a day in my life until my freshman year, which is, you know, my first game playing actual football and being able to do what I do. So it's just a really big blessing to be able to do this.
For week 9 of the Texas high school football season, Cal Allen travels down south to Zapata on Friday. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m.
Well, good Tuesday morning, 6:35 a.m. Taking a live look out here at Snoopy's Pier thanks to Matthews CCAC. A couple early boaters out on the water. 78 degrees, winds out of the south-southwest about 7 miles an hour, but not too bad as we're starting out our Tuesday at least. Let's see how our Monday shaped up. 96 degrees, though, that daytime high about 12 degrees above the average. Supposed to be 84 this time of October. Morning low is also pretty warm. 73 is what we shaped out at, way above the record 39 we set back in 1989. And then we still need 10.5 inches of rain to make up for the deficit so far we're seeing for 2025. Of course, over the past 10 hours or so, we've seen a decent cool down at that. 83 degrees by 8 p.m. last night, 80 at midnight, 77 there by 4 a.m., and now we're down to about 75 degrees here in Corpus Christi. So a decent cool down, but we've got a long ways to go right back up. In terms of those winds, pretty calm right now. 11 miles an hour out of the south at Port Aransas, 5 miles an hour out there out of the south in Orange Grove, 8 miles an hour out of the south in Hebronville, and that southerly flow is what we're really going to be seeing around the coastal bend pretty much all day. In terms of the next 10 days, going to be above average until we get just to about Halloween. Maybe we see some decent cold fronts working in. That looks like it could put us below average and around average for Halloween. Of course, I'll go over those rain chances in the full 7-day forecast coming up in just a bit.
Now, 20 minutes of non-stop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Hey, welcome back, folks. Thank you so much for joining us for our 20 minutes of non-stop news with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. We have plenty of neighborhood news for you as always, but let's first check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones to see how the traffic is looking before you head out the door. Good morning, Stephen.
Hey, buddy.
Well, good morning, you guys. Looking pretty warm outside this morning, a little muggy at that, and traffic not too bad either as we're looking out there across much of Corpus Christi. Taking a look at our SPID Skycam here, you can see traffic starting to slowly pick up, but overall not slowed down at all yet. It's still moving pretty freely there along SPID, and as we go through the next couple of hours, likely to keep picking up as people start heading out for the day more and more for work. Of course, let's take a more in-depth look at some of our roadways now. Here's the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland this morning, looking good and green as you're heading out the door towards 7 a.m. Closer into Corpus Christi, Ocean Drive, no major slowdowns as of right now, and it's Jocelyn, not too bad. SPID, Saratoga, and Crosstown, not too bad either. Just here as you get close to SPID, something to keep in mind as you're getting close there. Over towards the island, the Flower Bluff area, Flower Bluff Drive, no major slowdowns as of right now. A nice little one there on Waldron Road we want to keep in mind, and of course the normal one near the gates there towards the Naval Air Station, Corpus Christi. Some of those drive times for you though: 22 minutes from downtown to the island, 8 minutes from Portland to downtown, and Cal Allen to downtown, sitting around 15 minutes right now. So wherever you're coming from and wherever you're going to, looking good and green as you head out the door this morning.
Hey, thank you so much, Stephen. Appreciate you. So we're going to check back in with you in a little bit. Don't go anywhere, folks. We have plenty of neighborhood news to get to this morning.
Yes, from a look at the election ballots for Robstown and San Patricio County to the importance of Take Back Day, we have you covered in your neighborhood check-in.
Corpus Christi is preparing to spend $169 million to buy groundwater rights from Evangeline Laguna LP. Over 22,000 acres north of Sinton. That's about $61 million over the city's own appraisal. Under the deal, the city will pay $1 million for a 120-day inspection period and put another $3.25 million into escrow, money that becomes non-refundable even before any permits are approved. Pumping would start at 12 million gallons a day with the option to double. City leaders say the inspection process is already underway.
Just like in real estate, location is critical. This property is located adjacent to the Mary Rhodes Pipeline, which will allow us to deliver water to the city sooner.
I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter near the Wesley Seal Dam, where officials across the coastal bend came together to talk water. Critical. That's the message Beeville interim city manager Daniel Dorgan had to say about their water crisis. Earlier this month, the city moved into stage 4 water restrictions and declared a state of emergency. That's why city managers from Corpus Christi, Alice, Beeville, and Mathis met near the Wesley Seal Dam to look at options and how each neighboring city could help each other. Right now, Beeville has identified 2 water wells they are looking to bring back in hopes of bringing more water. City leaders hope to come up with other financially possible plans to help them get by. Corpus Christi City Manager Peter Zanoni says they all need to have a long-term plan.
Voting has begun in San Patricio County, but what's ahead for voters this time around? Depending on whether you're voting early or waiting till Election Day, where you'll fill out your ballot may look a little different. This year's special election has ballot items that are affecting the county as well as voters statewide. Let's take a look at the state first. State propositions this time around range from requiring the denial of bail for those accused of certain offenses to affirming parents as the primary decision makers for their children. But what about votes here in San Patricio County? For voters in Aransas Pass, the school district is looking to adopt a new tax rate. In Taft, voters will determine their next mayor and representatives for Ward 1 and 2. Sims Municipal District will also have a handful of items for voters there. But what about water? Neighbors will only have to vote on one item courtesy of the Groundwater Conservation District, a property tax increase of a single cent for every $100 in property value.
Mary Alice Ramon is one of many Robstown residents who participated in the state's early voting Monday morning. She, along with others who live in Robstown, could elect an entirely city council after this election. All of the city's 7 positions on the council are on the ballot. 4 people are running for mayor. 6 seats are open for city councilors. Many in those positions now are running again. But as for place 1, voters will put a new person there. Voters in Robstown elect city councilors every 2 years. Elected leaders are seated during the first city council meeting following the regular election unless a runoff is needed. Candidates must win the majority vote, requiring them to get more than 50% of the votes to win.
You probably have a few old pill bottles sitting in your bathroom cabinet, but holding on to them could actually be dangerous. Health leaders say most people who misuse prescription drugs get them from friends or family. That's why this weekend's Take Back Day is so important. On Saturday, you can drop off any unused or expired pills at the Corpus Christi Nueces County Health Department on Horn Road between 10 and 2. They won't take needles or liquids, but anything else can be safely disposed of, and it could help prevent addiction or even save a life. It's a small thing to do, but it makes a big difference.
Well, 6:46 a.m. out there on our Tuesday morning, taking a live look at Snoopy's Pier thanks to Matthew CCAC, sitting around 78 degrees, winds out of the south-southwest 7 miles an hour there, in the mid-70s here in Corpus Christi, and a little bit of traffic starting to pick up there on the bridge, and the water's looking not too bad with just a few early boaters out and about. Temperatures currently sitting at 75 here in town, 80s along the coast there, 82 in Port Aransas, 80 in Rockport, 78 at the Naval Air Station. The cooler spot's going to be inland a little bit. Cotulla off towards the west coming in at 71 degrees, then 72 for both Alice and Mathis this morning. All of us going to warm up into those 80s and 90s as we go into the daytime highs, and going to be a very muggy one at that. Dew points all of us in the 70s, mid 70s along the coast. Lower 70s as you work inland yesterday. Beeville was in the 60s and still in the 70s now, and that's going to be the case as we go into today, tomorrow, and likely the next day as well, with plenty of that southerly flow. Tomorrow we might see just a brief relief similar to what we saw on Sunday, but overall mainly humidity going to be in the forecast for now. And then today we've got that dog walking forecast for Bobo, our dog of the day, and he's got the right idea. Going to be a toasty Tuesday at that. Temperatures this morning not too bad for now, 79 by 9 a.m., 84 by 10 a.m., about 90 degrees as we're hitting that lunchtime hour. Winds out of the south south 5 to 10 miles an hour, and then 10 to 15 into the afternoon. And into the afternoon, might want to be getting into the beach just like Bobo. It's going to be a pretty warm one at that. And in terms of the heat risk, going to be sitting in the moderate category, also minor category around the coastal bend. Going into our Wednesday, I should say, it's a little bit better, more of the minor around the coastal bend, still moderate sitting around the island and Corpus Christi. And then as we go into Thursday, another expansion of the moderate heat risk into some of our inland communities, and still sitting with that around Corpus Christi as well. So just try to limit those outdoor activities and try to stay cool as well. Enjoy that AC if you can. For the current Doppler radar, nothing on the board right now. And as the future tracker looks, we're going to see a cold front coming our way by tonight, knocking on our doorstep. Not going to be super major though in terms of a drop in temperatures, just some very isolated activity that it might be responsible for on the radar there. As we go into tomorrow as well, I think today and tomorrow, both of them going to be staying mainly dry here in Corpus Christi and around the coastal bend. But throughout the 7-day forecast by Friday into Saturday, that's what I've got my better hopes on, or at least my eyes on, for better rain chances working back into the area. Still going to see daytime highs above average and then overnight lows in those 70s.
Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate you, sir. So every Wednesday I check out grocery prices, and specifically some beef prices for Grocery Trek. And I've noticed that trend, that the price of beef is going up. It's actually up 51% since 2020. And according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that's the highest that they've ever been. As the world's top beef producer, it's more than just tariffs that are keeping those prices at record levels, since it is made here domestically. Scripps News Group's Holly Furfer takes a look at the challenges and resilience shaping the cattle industry.
At Oak Barn Beef, family tradition runs deep. Owner and operator Hannah Klitz is a fifth-generation cattle producer. Along with her husband, she sells farm-to-table beef to her community in West Point, Nebraska, and ships beef products nationwide.
Q4 is normally our busiest quarter just because of all of the gifting, and it's one of my favorite times of year, but I spend almost all year preparing.
This year brought a hard decision for the couple.
We have had to raise prices this year just with rising input costs.
The beef industry is facing major challenges: a prolonged drought across key cattle states, record high feed costs, and the smallest U.S. cattle herd in 75 years, resulting in record high prices for consumers.
Well, there's two reasons. One, we're producing less beef. And the second one is consumers like beef, and so they're buying. That helps keep prices high.
Anderson says past droughts still ripple through the industry.
Drought is an interesting thing where you have some immediate effects, and then you have some long-term effects that happen the next year.
Immediate effects like buying more feed, and long-term effects like less productive cows and smaller herds.
And also just the extra labor that comes from that, and not having the feed for them and water. It's been really hard for a lot of producers.
Tighter supplies contribute to the higher prices we pay at the store, particularly on lean and ground beef, the most commonly imported in the U.S. High tariffs on Brazilian beef imports and restrictions on Mexican beef imports due to screwworm concerns are also making things more expensive. Klitz has added new products like turkeys to offer customers something fresh and keep margins afloat.
Farm-to-table businesses, they really are open to helping other people in the same industry, and I think that makes all the difference.
Despite high beef prices, her customers keep coming back.
And that's something we are very grateful for.
Holly Furfer, Scripps News Group, Atlanta.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
Talks between the White House and Russia appear to be stalling. Last week, President Trump said that he and Russian President Vladimir Putin agreed for their advisors to meet this week. But an anticipated meeting between Secretary of State Marco Rubio and his Russian counterpart have been tabled. It's not exactly clear why. It's not known if the delay will impact an anticipated summit between Trump and Putin in Budapest, Hungary next week.
Hundreds of online services and platforms are getting back up and running after a widespread outage early Monday. Services affected include Venmo, Snapchat, Facebook, Prime Video, and Amazon's cloud computing. That's according to downdetector.com. Some airlines, including Delta and United, reported disruptions for some of their systems. Amazon Web Services said Monday that it had issues with its cloud service operations. It said the outage lasted 3 hours and included entertainment and gaming
gaming websites.
The city of Corpus Christi is looking to expand the Civitan Service Center. The city wants to take about 1.5 acres of Saki Park for the expansion. The proposed work would include building a fence around the area to secure viable city assets and equipment stored near Saki Drive. City officials say thieves have been breaking into the Civitan Service Center and stealing catalytic converters from city vehicles. If approved, the $1.3 million project could move forward in September of next year.
City Council is set to vote today on a $3.5 million project that would revitalize Castanon Street nearby Moody High School. If approved, the construction would provide new street and sidewalk pavement, curbs, gutters, driveways, and signs from Trojan Drive to Delgado Street. Max Underground Construction would be responsible for the project. Funding for the $3.5 million project would come from the Street Bonds 2018 Stormwater, Water Wastewater, and Gas funds.
Today is the last day to apply for the city's minor home repair program. The program will provide 35 very low-income seniors, people with disabilities, veterans, or veteran surviving spouses with grants of up to $25,000 for essential home repairs. You can fill out the application online at cctx.info or stop by Laura Thomas Central Library for assistance.
Don't forget, folks, you can join the fight against breast cancer by joining us for the annual Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk. It's set for Saturday, October 25th, and the 5K walk helps raise funds for cancer research. Brian and I will MC the event, and this year the Making Strides Walk has a new start time, 11 a.m. It begins at Bayfront Park on North Shoreline. Check-in is at 9:30 a.m.
Hey folks, on to what's trending. Starbucks has announced the date for its Red Cup Day. It'll be Thursday, November 13th, so customers can receive a reusable red holiday cup when they buy a holiday beverage at participating stores. Starbucks says it will invest more resources in this year's Red Cup Day. The company will bring in more baristas to deal with the expected demand. The announcement of Red Cup Day comes just 2 weeks after Starbucks unveiled its holiday menu. It'll also include some popular items like eggnog lattes.
Man, I'll never get the red cup. I'm a boring person. Black coffee, nitro cold brew here and there when it's really hot.
You know I'll get you that red cup.
Okay.
You know I'm going to be trying some of those holiday treats. But, you know, whenever I think red cup, I don't necessarily think Starbucks, you know. I think in my college days, red Solo cup, fill me up, let's have a party. And there is your sing-along for the week.
There we go. That was pretty good. I mean, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get myself the red Starbucks cup or not. We'll see, you know, we'll see. I also saw a cool glow-in-the-dark one over at Cane's, you know, so might have to check out that one before Halloween with spooky season going on. Of course, it doesn't feel like it outside right now. Hopefully, going into the forecast, there's a little bit of hope on the horizon at least. Of course, this morning still pretty muggy outside as we're stepping out the door. Lots of moisture in the air out there, 78 degrees as we're looking live at Snoopy's Pier thanks to Matthew CCAC, 6:55 a.m. right now. Starting to get a little bit of color in the sky, just a beautiful view there. And current temperatures in your neighborhood, 70s inland, 71 for Cotulla, going to be the cool spot off towards the west. 71 also actually there in Alice, sneaking in this morning. 82 on the other side near the coast. Port Aransas is going to be that warm spot this morning. 79 in Rockport as well right now. So a good spread of those temperatures as we're getting closer to the 7 a.m. hour and looking like a good morning to take the pup for a walk. Or if it's going to be the afternoon, then today we've got Bobo, and Bobo's got the right idea. The afternoon going to be a little toasty at that. But the morning temperatures, like we said, not too bad. 79 there by 9 a.m. 84 by 10 a.m. 90 degrees as we're heading towards that lunchtime hour. Winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles an hour, and into this afternoon about 10 to 15 miles an hour. But you can see the feels like temperatures with the dew points in the 70s right now. Going to be feeling like the upper 90s, even the century mark as we're heading towards that 3 and 4 p.m. time frame. Then we get that nightly cool down, but you know, between noon and about 4 p.m., 5 p.m., definitely just try to limit the outdoor activities. Try to stay cool if you can. If you're going to be outside, drink plenty of water, of course. With the current Doppler radar situation, plenty of clear skies this this morning, of course, but as we look at the future tracker, maybe a little bit of isolated activity trying to work in for some of our northern viewing area, anywhere from Ski Drift through Beeville, even out towards Three Rivers as well. A front's going to try and come knocking on our doorstep. Overall, not going to have a major effect on our weather pattern other than just giving the chance for some isolated activity trying to pop up across the region. Overall, not going to be a drought buster for the coastal bend, I should say. So today, Tuesday, and tomorrow for Wednesday, going to be pretty high and dry across the coastal bend. Plenty of 90s for those daytime highs. And in terms of the mugginess, not expected to go away too much. We get just a weak drop in it going into today and tomorrow, but after that, still just going to be holding on to those 70s pretty much all week until we get to Sunday. That's what we've got our eyes on for another good drop in the dew points, we should say. Back from the 70s into the 60s, so it's more of that muggy, humid instead of the oppressive air you can wear that we're kind of feeling if you're stepping out the door this morning. Rain chance wise, it's going to be mainly isolated these next few days, but by Friday into Saturday, that's where the rain chances start to peak. We're going to still have the moisture in place that we're seeing with the southerly flow, but we're also going to get a weak disturbance that works in. So by Friday into Saturday on the 7-day forecast, that rain chance back on the board. Luckily, still going to be above average temperatures though for daytime highs, overnight lows in the 70s, but like I said, I'm just excited for the rain chances there by Friday into Saturday, you know?
It's so thick out there. I feel like if you're thirsty, you just have to breathe in a little bit.
Yeah, you know, that could probably do the trick.
Well, hey, we're hoping for no heavy rain chances for Saturday because of the Making Strides one.
That's true.
Could be a nice cool
Hopefully
down.
it just
You never
avoids
know.
it, you know? Hopefully it's around the time.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much, Stephen. And thank you for tuning in, folks. We will be back at noon with even more news from your neighborhood. Until then, have a great day.
Bye.